Lord Ashur will be right with you. Feel free to wait inside.
And I'm telling you, I've got it covered.
Okay.
I'll be with you right after I maintain some order and dispense a little justice.
And I suppose you'll follow that up by raising the dead.
No, but I may heal the infirm later in the week.
Turrets.
Time permitting, of course.
Sir, we've had sightings of Werner back in the city, and there's been an increase in chatter between slaves.
Workers.
What?
We call them workers. Helps with morale. Reminds them that they might earn their freedom someday.
Whatever we call them, they've been gathering makeshift weapons.
All right, all right. Put your guards on alert. Tell them to be on the lookout for anyone loitering too long downtown. And keep a watch on Medea at all times. Anything big happens, it's bound to go through her. Now, I've got a very important meeting with our new friend. So if anything big comes up, you use the intercom.
Yes, sir.
That intercom right
Okay,
there?
break's over.
Okay. Hello? Who are you? Oh, you're Ashur.
Nice work in the hole, new blood. Knew you couldn't be one of our normal workers. So that begs the question, who are you? And what are you doing in my city?
I heard the Pitt was building an army. I'm here to join. It's complicated. How about we just say I'm new in town and looking for work? I'm the hero who's going to kill you and free the slaves. Well, that's, I think, showing my hand a little too early. But, is this one of those karmic choices where if I lie to him, it's gonna say I earned bad karma or something? Let's go with good. Let's go full on.
I figured it'd be something like that. Goodbye, new blood. Hey!
Oh, dang. That's not quite what I wanted to do here. Alright, let's see what happens if we choose something else.
Lord Ashur will be right with you.
Yeah,
Feel free to wait inside.
And I'm telling you, I've got it covered. I'll be with you right after I maintain some order and dispense a little justice.
And I suppose you'll follow that up by raising the dead.
No, but I may heal the infirm later in the week. Time permitting, of course.
Sir, we've had sightings of Werner back in the city, and there's been an increase in chatter between slaves.
Workers.
What?
We call them workers. Helps with morale. Reminds them that they might earn their freedom someday.
Whatever we call them, they've been
Alright, what's
gathering
back
makeshift
here?
weapons.
Hello?
I can't really talk now. Isn't my husband waiting to see you?
Oh, your husband is Ashur?
Anyone loitering too long downtown.
Who is this?
And keep a watch.
Little baby.
Anything
Hey, little
big
baby.
happens, it's bound.
Aw, little baby.
Got a very important meeting
You
with
don't
our
usually
new
see
friend.
babies in Fallout
If
games.
anything big comes up, you use the intercom.
I don't think I've ever seen a
Yes,
baby
sir.
in a Fallout game, have I?
Okay, break's over.
Having a good time?
Making little baby noises. Yeah. Alright. What's the deal with the baby?
Nice work in the hole, new blood. Knew you couldn't be one of our normal workers. So that begs the question, who are you? And what are you doing in my city?
Alright, I could say it's complicated. I don't know if I like that. I'm just gonna go with the full lying to him.
You heard right. And after a show like that, how could I refuse someone of your talents? While the rest of the world scrambles to survive, we have an army, industry, and thanks to a recent surprise, we've got no need to fear radiation.
Really?
But we do have a few loose ends that still need tied up. Tell me, do you know a man named Werner?
Never heard of him. I met him, seemed like trouble, I steered clear. Can you tell me more about what you're doing in the pit? He's the one who brought me here. I'm gonna go with the speech 100 option.
Then you know he's not to be trusted. He escaped after a failed coup, and I believe he's working with the slaves to plan a revolt. You know the slaves, and you've met Werner, so you're in a prime position to put an end to him. Do that, and I'll make you a lieutenant in my army.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to hear! You've got a bright future ahead of you in the pit, new blood. In fact, I'd like to let you in on a little secret and show you the amazing advance that'll secure our place in the wasteland.
All right.
Now I think would be a good time for you to meet the cure for yourself. Let's take a trip back to the lab where Sandra can explain.
Lord Ashur, the slaves are rioting, and someone's armed them. We need you out here, and fast.
Damn it, I'm on my way. I suggest you forget Werner's offer and consider mine. Stop Werner, and you'll have a bright future in the pit. Don't disappoint me, new blood.
Can I
Go find Werner and put a stop to him.
But
I've got a revolt.
I didn't get a chance to ask him what he's doing here or how he got here or... Oh, come on, game. All right, let's try this again.
Lord Ashur will be right with you. Feel free to wait inside.
And I'm telling you, I've got it covered. I'll be with you right after I maintain some order and dispense a little justice.
Yeah.
No, but I may heal the infirm later in the week. Time permitting, of course.
Sir, we've had sightings of Werner back in the city, and there's been an increase in chatter between slaves.
Oh, there's the baby's bed.
Workers.
What?
We call them workers. Helps with
Anything in the safe?
crap.
Oh, I got bad karma for going into a slaver's safe. Really? Really, game? Really? Diary 1 to Marie. The Scourge, the Mill, the Cure. Mentas, Stealth Boy. Okay. Yeah, screw you, game.
Reminds
Lost
them
karma.
that they might earn their freedom
He's a
someday.
freaking slaver.
Whatever
All right, let's listen to these.
Test 1, 2. Looks like this thing is on. Marie, if you're there. This is your father speaking. Ishmael Ashur. Sometimes called Lord of the Pit. Now I hope you're hearing this 10 years from now. Sitting on my knees safe and sound. Right about now, I bet I'm looking pretty silly. But things don't always work out the way we'd like. There are a lot of risks, including what your mother would do if she heard me talking like this. And I'm not about to risk leaving you alone without knowing where you came from. These tapes are for you, so you can know who your father really was.
All right, there we go. There we go. That's what I want to know.
Marie, the first thing you need to know is that I wasn't always the Lord of the Pit. Long before I was a king, I was a scholar and a soldier. In fact, I was in the Brotherhood of Steel.
Of course you were.
You've probably heard about them, but you may not have heard what we did to the city. The Scourge. When we came here, the pit was just a breeding ground for trogs, cannibals, and worse. Commander had us torch the place and take what we could. The pit had useful technology, but it was suicide to stay here. So when an explosion left me buried in the mill, my brothers were sure I was dead. I don't blame them for leaving. I probably would have. We thought nothing could live in the pit. We were wrong. Marie, you know those fights in the mill's arena? Well, its first fight was when I woke up to someone pulling me out from a pile of rubble. At first, I thought it was my brothers pulling me to safety. Instead, it was a scavenger trying to steal my armor. She didn't get it, but I learned she had a whole family of scavengers. They'd make raids into the city for gear from the mill, and that gave me an idea. This was the only working steel mill we'd ever seen. In a world of leftovers, it was a chance to build again, and that was worth any price. The scavengers saw me as a god, so along with my Brotherhood know-how, it was easy to set up the basics. We started to build a city.
Saw you as a god. Well, that's a stretch, but okay.
As word of a new settlement got out, the city started growing, and fast. When raiders attacked, I'd kill the leader and recruit the rest. I had to. The city's disease meant we couldn't have children, so recruiting was the only way to grow. And as we grew, the mill needed more workers. And yes, that meant recruiting workers by force. I'm not proud of it, but it's the only way to keep the city supplied and armed. But it was always a temporary solution, until our best scientists found a way to cure the city's epidemic. Sandra and I worked on it day and night. And after one particularly late night of work, we were blessed with a cure. It's the cure inside you, Marie. Even now, we're doing everything we can to figure out how to share your gift with the city, while keeping you safe, of course. So by the time you're old enough to hear this, you'll already be a hero. Congratulations, Marie. You've already saved us all. I knew you would.
Wow. Wait, whoa. So the baby is the cure? When he says that they worked very hard on coming up with a cure, and after one late night, do they mean what I think they mean? Were they knocking boots to make a baby? And somehow she can cure the radiation sickness that turns everyone into trogs? Everyone who lives here? Now I have a question, and just call me crazy, but what if everyone just left? Would they still turn into trogs? Because I thought it was exposure to the toxic chemicals in the pit and the toxic radiation in the pit that turned people into trogs. So if they left the pit, they wouldn't turn into trogs. Within the context of the game, I'm probably not going to have the option to just say, okay, let's kill all the pit raiders and everybody follow me to the Capital Wasteland. Come on. I mean, goodness knows I have enough caps and enough gear and enough food and stuff to just like set everybody up. We could have this mass exodus. See, if Fallout 3 was Fallout 4, then I could build settlements, and then I could take everybody who is a pit slave and just bring them to my settlements in the Capital Wasteland and be like, here's a new life for you. Refugees from the pit, come settle in the Capital Wasteland. But this game is probably not going to give me that option.
We call them. They've been gathering makeshift weapons.
All right. Put your guards on alert. Tell them to be on the lookout for anyone loitering too long
Can't
downtown.
get into that.
And keep a watch on Medea at all
not.
times. Anything big happens, it's bound to go through her. Now, I've got a very important meeting with our new friend. So if anything big comes up, you use the intercom.
Yes, sir.
Okay, break's over. Nice work in the hole, new blood. Knew you couldn't be one of our normal workers. So that begs the question, who are you? And what are you doing in my city?
Let's try the neutral option just to see what happens.
I understand. We've all got a past. And damn few of us have reason to be proud of it. That's all behind you now. In the pit, you'll be part of a growing army, a thriving industry, and maybe even witness to a cure for radiation. But we aren't perfect, and sometimes the past comes back to haunt us. Tell me, do you know a man named Werner?
Okay, let's try this. Wait, can you tell me more about what you're doing in the pit?
Ever since the city was scourged, we've done what everyone does. Whatever's necessary to survive. I know my city seems barbaric to you, but it's the only way we can carve out a home in this hellhole, and it's kept these people alive. But that's enough stalling for time. So do you know Werner?
Alright, I guess we'll just go with this again.
Then you know he's not to be trusted. He escaped after a failed coup, and I believe he's working with the slaves to plan a revolt. You know the slaves, and you've met Werner, so you're in a prime position to put an end to him. Do that, and I'll make you a lieutenant in my army.
If I turn him down, is he gonna get mad at me?
Ah, of course. Would these plans happen to involve stealing a precious little something from me? Don't look so surprised. Your arrival was too convenient. And even if you never met Werner, I'm sure he got someone to make you an offer. It's okay. I get a lot of people trying to betray me. Part of the position, really. You can be honest with me.
Okay, so I could lie, or I could tell him the truth. Well, trying to tell him the truth gets us shot at, so let's lie.
A wise decision, New Blood. A very wise decision. It looks like Werner underestimated you, and he certainly didn't appreciate what I do to anyone that threatened our little discovery. Now I think would be a good time for you to meet the cure for yourself. Let's take a trip back to the lab, where Sandra can explain.
Lord Ashur, the slaves are rioting, and someone's armed them. We need you out here, and fast.
Damn it, I'm on my way.
Grab these bottle caps
I suggest you forget Werner's offer and consider mine. Stop Werner,
Yep.
and you'll have a bright future in the pit. Don't
Okay.
disappoint me, New Blood.
Okay. Bye. Go do what you gotta do. I'll come in here and talk to Sandra. Alright, so what's up, Sandra?
Oh, Ashur told me you might be coming here, but I'm afraid I was preoccupied. Little Marie here is an angel, but she can still be a handful. I'm Sandra. Ashur set me up here to work on the pit's medical research, and Marie here is our daughter. Our little miracle, really.
Oh, Ashur said you could show me a cure. I don't care about your spawn. Where's the cure? Oh, that's rude. The spawn is the cure. We know that because we listened to the tapes. I've got a bad feeling this isn't just bring your daughter to work day. I'm gonna go with that.
Don't be silly. It's the best of both worlds. As a mother, I love that I can spend all day with my daughter. And as a scientist, it's great to work on something that will benefit the city.
Do you mean she has a natural and transferable immunity of some sort? A baby can't be a cure. Okay, so the baby's the cure. Okay, I'll go with science.
Well, this is a nice surprise. Apparently you and Ashur are the only other people who know anything about science in this place. Yes, it seems that our daughter was born with a naturally acquired immunity to any form of mutation. It's nothing short of a miracle, honestly. I'm still trying to figure out why, but she may just hold the key to stopping the pit's trog problem. Hell, maybe other types of mutations too.
Like being a ghoul? Or a super mutant? Aren't you worried about hurting Marie?
Oh no, these tests are perfectly safe. In fact, between the crib and her uncanny health, she's probably the safest child in the world. Ashur and I would never risk her health. And if that means it takes longer to develop a full cure, then, well, everyone else can wait.
Is there anything I can do to help? I guess?
You're a dear, but things are well in hand here. If you really want to help, you should probably go deal with whatever had Ashur rushing off in such a hurry. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to take care of one last test before Marie's nap time.
Okay. So, alright, so my options here are steal a baby and take it to Werner, who, honestly, we don't really know him from a hole in the ground, right? I just don't trust Werner. Like, I trust the slaves, fine, but I don't trust Werner. So if I go out here and start killing slavers and then come back and get the baby, maybe? Will that be possible, or will she like hide with the baby and then I can't get it?
Having a good time?
I don't want to have to kill her either. Because that's the baby mama. That's not fair. But I don't, I mean, she's going to fight me. Because she's not going to want me to take her kid. Alright, baby monitor. Let's look at this. Healthy and well. Trog studies. Troglodyte degeneration contagion. An epidemic of the environs around the pit, which I have named troglodytic degeneration contagion, or simply TDC. Appears to be the result of intensely concentrated radiation, but the unique toxins and pollutants in the pit cause it to be far more pervasive. Anyone living in TDC active areas experience skin lesions after a few weeks of exposure, which can clear up after a month or more away from infected areas. See? If I just lead these people away from the pit, they wouldn't be sick. For many healthy adults, this is the full extent of the effect. TDC also seems to interact with brain chemistry in a manner that produces a number of psychological effects, even if the subject remains physically healthy. I'll need to recover more information about psychosis before attempting to enumerate those effects. Approximately 20% of adults will progress further, losing higher reasoning and motor skills over the course of years, until they have degenerated into a bestial trog. No subjects have ever been recovered from full degeneration, although wishful rumors persist of trog retaining memories and recognizing the faces of loved ones. More tragic, however, is the fact that children born in TDC active areas have a virtually 100% degeneration rate, often becoming feral within weeks of birth. Oh. Jesus, well, ugh. Let my people go. Observational tests on isolated samples suggest the subject has a natural adaptive immunity to the so-called trog mutation. Furthermore, it appears that this immunity carries on to other forms of radiation-induced diseases, from radiation sickness to larger mutations, such as the all too common development of a sixth toe. Attempts to isolate these effects have been slow-going, due in part to the delicate nature of testing. Prospects exist for duplication, but the unique and delicate nature of the subject requires utmost care in testing. Alright. So yeah, if these people just leave the pit, then they wouldn't be sick anymore. But they, I mean, obviously they can't leave the pit because they're slaves. But if I were to kill all the slavers, they could leave the pit. Then they wouldn't need the cure.